Production at BP's refinery in Indiana restarted this week, and it turned out to be only a minor setback to the steady decline of gas prices here in Michigan. Fox 17 spoke with GasBuddy analyst Patrick DeHaan to learn more about where things stand for the Labor Day holiday weekend and what we can expect in the future. Josh Berry reports.
Going into Labor Day, gas prices have continued to decline now for 11 straight weeks in West Michigan.
The continued downward trend of gas prices, while welcomed, comes as a shock for some analysts.
Considering the BP Whiting refinery has been down for the last week, we're in a pretty good position. The governor had suggested that supply disruptions were imminent. That did not happen.
Part of the positive progress, according to GasBuddy's Patrick DeHaan, is credited to drivers.
Thankfully, because many motorists avoided panicking and going out and filling their tanks up, we're going to be dealing with falling prices over the holiday weekend and really no supply issues. Otherwise, we could have seen supply disruptions and higher prices. So certainly some good news going into the holiday weekend.
The nationwide average right now is $3.79. That's 5 cents lower than last week and 35 cents lower than last month. Here in West Michigan, prices are even lower than that. At last check, it's $3.43 in Zeeland, $3.59 in Walker, $3.69 in Newaygo, and $3.75 in Lake Odessa. The experts initially feared that a fire at the largest refinery in the Midwest, which serves Michigan, would severely hinder supply. BP plans to partially restore motor fuel production at its Whiting, Indiana refinery by Sunday. Michigan was already set to switch to winter fuel in 2 weeks, but the EPA allowed the switch to the harsher gasoline earlier to avoid an even worse supply disruption.
The good news is that winter gasoline, the components that go into it, are a little bit cheaper. And so therefore, when we roll back to winter gasoline, there may be a slight price drop as a result.
For anyone driving over the Labor Day holiday, if you have to fill up out of state, here's what you can expect depending on where you go.
Ohio, really close to similar. They saw a small price increase as well to $3.69. So prices there are very similar to Michigan. Indiana's a little higher and Illinois is much higher. Wisconsin, generally a little bit lower as well.
And while we're not on the coast, hurricanes can impact fuel prices across the country. But for the first time in decades, the month of August didn't have a disruption in the Atlantic. But that could change.
All it would take is one small hurricane or maybe a mid-sized hurricane that shuts down refineries to see prices perk up. So we're still susceptible to weather.
All these things considered, you can expect that downward trend to continue.
I am hopeful that prices will continue to moderate through the weekend and into next week when we come back, but it's not impossible. Oil prices are up sharply today on the possibility that OPEC could cut production. So that's something to keep an eye on. But by and large, I do expect fall and into the winter, we'll see lower prices than we did for spring and summer.
For Fox 17 Unfiltered, I'm Josh Berry.